Donald Trump took the victory in South Carolina's Republican primary, defeating Nikki Haley in her home state. This makes it his third consecutive victory in the primary following Iowa, New Hampshire and Nevada. Trump is now closer towards a third consecutive presidential nomination and a rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden. DD India correspondent Caroline Malone joins us from South Carolina. Caroline, good morning. Let us get the latest from you on the results first.
Well, hi there. Yes, absolutely. So, in fact, Nikki Haley has just started speaking in Charleston Place right behind me. This is a historic town, part of South Carolina, where Nikki Haley has been hard campaigning over the last few days. But of course, as you're hearing there as well, it looks like Donald Trump has very much won this election. Although only just less than 40% of the vote counted so far, he is certainly looking like he's going to get the majority of the delegates. The delegates are the number of votes, essentially, that help him go forward to be the ultimate presidential candidate for the Republican Party. But Nikki Haley is not accepting defeat overall. As part of her speech that she's making just behind me, she's been saying that she is a woman of her word and that she will not give up this fight. And we know, of course, that she is planning to campaign even further. She's going to be campaigning in 7 different places over the next week to 10 days. That's before Super Tuesday, which is where there are another multiple places where elections happen, that then delegates are counted towards the ultimate Republican Party presidential nomination. Nikki Haley's also been making reference towards her mum, who's originally from India, and speaking about the importance of her family. Her family were with her actually in a lot of her campaign events and were with her when she voted actually on Saturday as well. Her mum was in a wheelchair being rolled around with her and her son. So we saw clearly that family was important to her there, and she was exercising her right to vote because this is her home state of South Carolina. But it looks like Donald Trump is going to sweep away with a victory once again. He did so in Iowa, he did so in New Hampshire, and it looks like he will be getting the majority of the delegates in this state. He's already declared victory. He said it was a sweeping victory for him in South Carolina. He was speaking, in fact, at a Conservative Party conference in Washington, D.C. just earlier. He's also been talking about potential contenders for vice president. So he's really looking forward and ahead to the future, where he could potentially be the person who is fighting for the presidency alongside Joe Biden. And it could be a rematch of those two men who were fighting for the presidency just 4 years ago. Now, in terms of vice presidential candidates for Donald Trump, they actually took a straw poll at the Conservative conference, and 2 names came up to the forefront. One of them was Vivek Ramaswamy, also with Indian roots. He was talking at the conference, as was the South Dakota governor, Kristi Noem. She was saying that there are 2 types of Americans now, people that love us and people that hate us. She was making reference there to the type of work that the current president, Joe Biden, has been doing. Overwhelmingly, people in this state are concerned about the economy. They're concerned about how they think Joe Biden has tanked the economy, and also about border issues. Those are the 2 items that people really are concerned about, and they see Donald Trump as the person who is a strong leader who can help fix it for them.
All right. Also, let us know more as to why there is still so much support for Trump, despite the numerous court cases.
Well, absolutely. So, he has something like 90 indictments against him. He's facing all these criminal and civil cases, some of which are already playing out in different states across the United States. He's due to be in court on the first criminal case in March, and that is going to be in New York, where he is, facing charges of fraud and hiding hush money payments against an adult movie star. But the key part of all of this, and it shows in the polls here in South Carolina, the majority of people that voted for him, it doesn't stop them voting for him ultimately. They either don't believe that these charges should be put against him. They believe it's unfair. They believe that they're trumped up, to use that phrase. And he's been saying that in his campaigning as well, that this is only, done because politically the Democrats don't want to see him in office. And therefore, it's a way of trying to get him out of the race entirely. So really, that has been the focus of people here. 7 out of 10 people saying, even if he was found guilty in any of these charges, that they would still want him to be the president. So really quite an unusual situation where you have most likely the Republican candidate for president for this year could be charged with cases, but that wouldn't stop people in the United States, certainly in South Carolina, from wanting him to hold office and be in the White House again.
All right, Caroline, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details.